Wow, that was fun. Okay, so let's go here. I hate the fact that I cannot search this. So, share HB pod. What's going on, Vet? Appreciate you, buddy. Yeah, that was fun. I just sent Kent an invite, so hopefully he gets that here soon. What's going on, Patrick?
Why is my green screen like that?
Appreciate you, Vet. Nada. We're doing a Swaghouse show, baby, and we've got a big guest coming. Big.
Oh, my stand broke today. This is awesome.
Oh, that's always fun.
Yeah. Came unscrewed. Pickle problems.
And it wouldn't be a pod without a pickle problem.
All right. Luckily, it happened earlier today when I was
There's Kent.
As my dogs are going crazy in the background.
Well, we know it's one of our pods, so we'll probably wind up hearing my dogs here before too long.
Right.
Okay. Kent I sent Kent his invite. Still waiting for Cobes. I hope Kent knows how to accept an invite. What's up, Matt? How's it going, buddy?
Hey, brother.
Joined through an invite I got. Okay. There's that one.
Hey, James.
Invitation sent. Can't just pop back in. Oh, well, thank you for liking the live, Brian.
Chico. And it's not a purple hammer. By any means.
Yeah, we don't speak of that on this show. Oh dear Lord, I'm glad I have this thing. Okay, I'm gonna send you this invite, Kent. Or the invite's there. You should just hit accept, right?
Accept.
That's all you do?
Yep. Accept, and then it'll go to you.
Your camera.
Well, your blank screen, and then you press on your camera, and then you go to your options from there.
Gotcha. And then I just saw Kenny in here again. See?
Okay.
That's how that's done. Oh, shit. Alien, do not accept that invite. Do not accept that invite.
There's Kent.
Oh, goodness gracious. That scared me. Because I don't want to have to boot you, dude. Don't accept that invite.
Right, yeah.
Hold on, I'll do that.
I didn't say I wouldn't. I said I don't want to. Okay. So, Kent, make sure your microphone's on.
I think it's on.
Yeah.
Hey, there we go.
Yeah, I was trying to do it on my computer here.
Oh, see, I have no idea about doing it on the computer.
Yeah, I just do everything through mobile.
What up, Trey? All right. So while you're getting that taken care of, I'm going to go ahead and give us our intro here. Welcome to the Swaghouse, everybody. This is the Swag Dedicated podcast that we do a pop-up every so often if we can have a pretty good guest. And we have a very good guest so far, probably one of the best ones we've had. For those of you that do know who this man is, let me introduce you to Mr. Kent Ames. Kent, welcome to the Swaghouse, buddy.
What's up? Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming in, brother.
So for the people that don't know who you are, can we get a description of who you are and what you do for Swag?
So, again, I'm Kent Ames. I've been associated with Swag, California Bowling, going back about 15 years. Prior to the rebranding in January, I was the sales manager for California Bowling, so I dealt with all the pro shops. Of course, at the time, we weren't with any distributors. So with the rebrand, they kept me on. I worked with all the distributors and pro shops at this time, so all interactions with distributors. Any questions that pro shops have, I was out there at all the trade shows, except for one that I couldn't make because of a double booking. And then I handle all of our staff.
Gotcha. So you've got quite a lot on your plate, to say the least.
I do, and I run a pro shop.
Yeah, you're one of the drillers for Patrick, so I'm told.
On occasion. Only when his normal driller's not available.
Well, and he's got himself an awful interesting situation there with his iron thumb anyway, so.
Yeah, let's not go there.
So you handle distribution to the pro shops, which is a huge difference from the old brand to the new brand.
Yeah.
How was that transition on your side?
It was beautiful. With the help and support that I had behind me, at the higher level, it went really, really well, seamless, really. Better than we expected. We picked up more distributors than we were originally anticipating. Distributors were ordering more than we originally anticipated off the get-go. And then it wasn't long before we started seeing them sending in reorders. So distribution took off really, really well.
Yeah, I remember particularly one ball in particular from the original 6 relaunch that a lot of distros had a hard time keeping in stock, which was the Dragon Solid.
Yeah.
Yeah, so when we initially looked at how many balls we were going to bring in, we were kind of looking over some of the old numbers of what we did sales-wise in the past between staff and public and pro shops, and tried to gauge a number to stock based off of that, not knowing what distributors were going to do. And from that, we actually ended up having to twice airship more product over so that we could get it in time to fulfill orders, restock, distributors, restock our staff page for our staffers to get balls. The first few months were crazy.
Yeah, I had to actually wait until the end of May to wind up picking up my Dragon Solid because of all that.
But it was worth it.
And I actually got it at a pro shop. I got it from Enterprise Pro Shop at Enterprise Lanes in Springfield, Missouri.
There you go. But the weight was worth it. Come on, you got to tell me. You got to admit.
Oh, it's until the Apex Pearl, the Dragon Solid was my favorite ball.
Yeah, and that's a really nice piece.
Now, as you know, me and Brian are already enthusiasts, as we like to call ourselves. Kenny has a unique perspective. Kober here, he has tried one swag ball, but he's still he's still. How would you describe it, Kenny?
On the fence? No. No, I got nothing against it. It's just the ball that I had didn't measure up to me, so I don't want to spend more money per se to risk having to go through that same scenario again. That's my issue.
Understandable. And I'll tell anybody that, give something a try. Not every ball or every brand is going to be a fit for every person. Just with so many unique styles and everything else. But then again, on the flip side, A, I'm curious as to which ball it was you tried, and B, how it was laid out.
It was, I don't know if it was laid out to me per se, but
It was a
I
swag,
think it's
right?
it's a Swag Ace.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
I think they had it drilled 442.
Okay. And I don't do a lot of the storm layouts. So I kind of have to look at times and see how that translates over to the dual angle. The Ace was a great ball for me. I loved it. And now granted that was pre-rebrand. So that was actually one of the older California balls. The newer closest equivalent to that would be the Fusion Hybrid, which I loved the Ace. I'm quickly falling in love with the Fusion Hybrid even more. It outperforms the Ace.
See, now I struggle with throwing any type of hybrid.
And see, the Ace was a hybrid.
Yeah.
I'm kind of in that same boat with hybrids.
I thrive.
Finger blades.
Are that way with hybrids. I've had people in the past that tell me, oh, I just hate throwing hybrids. We actually had a guy that worked for us at one time, and he told me how he hated throwing hybrids. And then I told him, but you love this ball, right? And he goes, yeah. Well, that was a hybrid. You love this ball. That was a hybrid.
Well,
He
I
was
can
completely forgetting that they were hybrids.
I can confirm that I struggle with hybrids. I have a track stealth mode ace or a hybrid. I have can't throw it. My 2.0 Black Widow hybrid can't throw it. So I struggle with hybrids.
Well, I would say that if you did try, if you were willing to try another ball, one of the newer rebrand balls, to probably look at like the Black Dragon, the solid version,
Yeah.
or the original Fusion, which was also a solid, or the Apex Pearl, depending on the type of shape you're trying to look for.
I'm a 2-finger no thumb bowler, one hand. I don't do 2-hand. So typically on house shot you gotta play a little bit deeper that way. So I mean it's more angular.
So if you're looking for something that's going to be a little bit longer, a little bit more angular, look at the Apex Pearl for sure.
Absolutely.
It might even
my
be
favorite
one that
right now.
goes too long for you when you drill it. You take the surface and take a little bit of the shine off just with hitting it with like a 1500 or 2000 pad by hand, just to knock a little bit of the shine down. But that's one that I would recommend trying, and probably, give it 3-4 games before you do knock that shine, just to break in the cover and see what it really does.
Yeah. See, now the only time I've had any success with the Ace is on super high friction. I think my son just got the Black Dragon. Hold on, let me go get these
Beautiful
dogs.
Great ball.
And quick question for you, Kent. Some people believe in this and some people don't. What is your opinion on putting like the pressure amount when you're sanding a ball? Does it make a does it make a big difference? I know it makes a difference, but like light pressure versus heavier pressure, like say you're trying to break the polish off of, say, an Apex Pearl.
If you're just trying to knock it off by hand, you're not wanting it unless you're really wanting to take the polish completely off. Then of course you want to put it on a spinner. But if you're just knocking it down a little bit by hand, you don't have to use much pressure. And part of it's going to depend on how fresh your pad is too. If you're using a new pad, you definitely want to be a light touch on it. If it's a little bit more of a used pad, give it a little bit more pressure just so that you are breaking that down a little bit easier.
That was one of the funniest things I had seen in a bowling alley was somebody's like, "Oh, I'm just knocking the polish off," and they're like literally elbow greasing a sanding pad on the ball. I'm like, "Yo, homie, you don't have to peel the label off of this thing. You don't have to put that much pressure down."
Well, and even myself, like if I'm at let's say a regional or something, and I'm pulling out urethane and putting some fresh surface on it right before a squad. Even with a 500 pad, I'm still lightly scuffing it. I'm not elbowing, because then you're just going to take it way down too much.
Right.
Yeah, especially if you're just taking just the shine off a little bit. It just depends on how fresh that pad is. If it's pretty worn, you want to give it a little bit more pressure. But if it's still fairly new, then yeah, just light scuff.
And that's another big thing that most people don't realize is those pads can wear, and an older 1500 is not necessarily putting a 1500 grit on the bowling ball.
Yeah.
Right. Well, especially when you're doing dry sanding, you're going to eat up that pad faster. Yeah. So if you're carrying pads in your bag and you're just dry sanding, once you use it once or twice, you've already taken a lot of the teeth out of it. It's a lot different than using it wet sanding on a spinner.
Yeah, you're
right. Absolutely.
Up from a 15 to 2000 really quick.
Yeah.
So let's see here. Now we kind of touched on somebody that's like in Kenny's situation, willing to give it a try, gave one a try, didn't necessarily want to go all in, but say he wants to add on to his arsenal from the ace. Where would you go knowing that he's already got an ace? Where would you point him towards next?
Most people, just depending on where they're wanting to go from there. If they're wanting to go bigger ball, definitely looking at Dragon Solid, Judge Solid. Even the newer Judge Pearl and Dragon Pearl, there's still that bigger, a little bit more back end. But you're going to be able to tighten up your angles a little bit just with that polish. And especially, it really depends on the house shot, or what the conditions are that you're on. The new house shot that we're on here, where normally I could move way left with an ace and just rip the guts out of it. Now I'm finding with our newer house shot that they're using, new oil, my ace sims, I'm moving further right than I am with my sims, and being able to play tighter angles with them, which is nice, especially on the right lane. But for most people, I tell them, look for that benchmark. Unless you're definitely wanting something a step up or a step down, look for the benchmark. Most of the time, the go-to benchmark has been the Fusion, the original Fusion. Some people really considered the Unreal a benchmark ball. That was one that was very specific to people. Some people loved it polished out of box. Some people hated it out of box, but then hit the cover with like a 2000 pad, and then fell in love with the ball.
That's my benchmark. My benchmark is the Unreal at 3000.
Yeah. And a lot of people had compared that to a Phase 2.
Mm-hmm.
Which my benchmark is falling into the Dragon Solid right now.
Yeah. Now, if you're looking at something, a little bit lower end, but still gives you plenty of pop, then don't knock a Craze.
Oh, I love the Craze Pearl. That's what got me in this leg, I'm not going to lie.
Personally, myself, I never threw the Craze Solid, but I love the Craze Pearl. And I love my Fusion or my Craze Hybrid. And I'm probably actually going to be, I'm thinking I'm probably going to be showing that this week on my Tuesday League Live.
speaking of which, I'm glad you brought that up. Your Tuesday night league. That is your entire team's family, isn't it?
Almost. So Dwayne is not family, but the funny part about him is we met up here in Texas, but I've known him and his family since he was a kid back in California because he was from my same hometown.
Oh, nice.
But other than that, it is myself and my wife and my son.
Gotcha. Yeah, because I was live on this channel, but I was on the Swaghouse watching other lives. And I came into yours, and I'm like, Ames. I'm like, that's got to be an entire family league.
Yep.
So, let's go back to the pre rebrand into the rebrand. Other than distro, what is the biggest difference in your opinion from Swag pre rebrand relaunch to what we're dealing with now?
Oh, where do I start? It's a whole new entity. It's, I mean, from the leadership down, it's just a completely different feel. I mean, not that I wasn't treated well in the past, but the relationship that I have right now is one that I feel more like I'm heard, and that, you know, the things that feedback that I get from people, you know, whether it's people like you guys or our staffers or pro shops, that I can take this information, present it to the higher ups, and it's going to get at least a really good consideration, if not implemented.
Awesome.
So yeah, it's a whole different atmosphere. Completely restructured staff program this year. You know, it used to be with the old staff, it was people applied and pretty much everybody could get on. They were offered an intro package that they could take advantage of. And for a few years, I had been trying to kind of get that program restructured more how we have it now, to where now we have 4 tiers, which we had different tier systems in the past, but we have 4 tiers now with limited spots in each tier. And the unfortunate part was at the beginning of the year, so many spots to fill, but a lot more applications came in than I had spots for.
I was going to say, I would assume with the big rebrand, you got flooded.
Most people were pretty understanding when I would send out the email saying, you know, hey, sorry you didn't make it. You know, we'll keep this on file. Because part of it is with the new system is you really already need to be familiar with the equipment.
Right.
You know, we had people before that had never thrown a California bowling ball and would come in, try a couple balls and be like, oh, well, it's not for me. Thanks for the chance. You know, now it's, you've got to fit a criteria.
I was going to say, I could assume that you guys had plenty of turnover in the old style.
Yeah. And with this new setup, you know, I did have a few guys that had to drop off the staff for one reason or another, but it wasn't the same types of reasons as before. Moving forward, like, we're going to be opening applications back up starting this next month. We'll have links on our Facebook page. I think we're going to try and get a link to it on our website as well. But social media wise, there'll be a link for people to fill out an application. The bad part again is going to be, you know, I've got a lot of guys that are going to stay. I do have some that I'm going to have spots coming open. But right now, from some that got turned in last year, and then even after we closed it, we still had applications trickling in.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sitting right now on 200 plus applications.
Whew.
Not surprised.
And nowhere even near that many spots available.
Well, mean,
I'm gonna
it's not a
maybe.
bad thing.
I'm gonna throw out and say I might. I'm gonna say probably at the max have 40, 50 spots open, tops, and I don't even think it's gonna be that big.
Well, and that's the entire thing is I love that as far as the amount of applications you're getting in. That's saying demand is there. That is good for the brand. And it also breeds competition for people
Correct.
trying to get spots.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, does it suck getting that email that says, hey, we appreciate your consideration, but we're going in a different direction? Yes. But it also can be a motivator for, hey, I'm going to try this again. I'm going to build up my resume,
Right.
and I'm going to give it another go
Yeah,
at a later time.
encourage everybody to do that.
Yeah, I mean it's no different than when you're getting ready to start a new job. You don't start a new job and not look into what you are going to have to do for that job.
Right.
You got to self prepare for what you're getting into. So, I mean honestly it's great because that means Swag is really making a impact. And honestly, I'm hearing a lot more about it probably in the last 6 months that I've heard in probably the last year.
Oh, for sure. Like we just did the trade shows through like middle of July through the end of August. I think we did 7 or 8 I think 8 trade shows. I was at 7 of them. I mean, it was Indiana, Florida, 2 trips to Vegas, Connecticut, couple of others that I'm drawing a blank on the locations even.
I was going to say, I saw the one in Ohio.
Ohio, yep.
And I think you were in Missouri, either Kansas City or St. Louis.
St. Louis, yeah.
Which is my neck of the woods, FYI.
And a lot of them were like back to back. It was, I'd fly in one day, do the trade show, fly out that night, or, some of them that was the next day, come home. I'd be home for a day or two, fly out for the next one.
Yeah, it was a fantastic.
Yeah, at one point I did get almost a week break in between some shows. And then the end push was, and my wife got to go to a few of them with me, but we flew out on, I think, a Tuesday to go to Tampa. We flew in Tuesday, did the trade show Wednesday, flew home Thursday, flew back out Monday for Vegas, did trade show on Tuesday, Wednesday flew from Vegas to Rhode Island, and then drove down for the trade show in Connecticut. Did the show in Connecticut, flew home on Friday, and that was actually right after I came home from Vegas, and I was home from Vegas for like 2 days before that little stretch started.
I hope you were racking up frequent flyer points.
I know I wasn't racking up sleep. But the exposure to some of the shops that didn't really know a lot about us, and then others that were carrying some of our stuff, and then them being able to see what the next launch was coming out, and being able to put some of those orders in right then. We ran trade show specials that were really successful, and there was a lot of great feedback. I had some of the pro shops were asking, hey, we've got guys in our shop that, we get on with Storm, and I've got another guy with Brunswick, another guy with Motive. What's the chance of getting a guy in with you guys? And so out of that type of feedback, we're actually in the works right now of developing a pro shop staff as well. So
That's
that we
awesome.
can have some of those that are pro shop associated be able to have a staff position. It's going to be similar to our normal staff, but it'll be separated so that there's plenty of room for those pro shop guys.
That is awesome, and I like the fact that it's going to be a similar but separate, because from what I'm told anyway, because somebody that's never been on staff with anybody, it's all hearsay. But the majority of those staff positions are going to pro shop guys that aren't on the PBA tier. So it's everybody's always said you want to get on staff with somebody, you better be associated with a pro shop because it's just so much easier that way.
It does make it a lot easier in most cases. For us, it weighs a little bit more, but it's not a deciding factor because I just know from experience over the years that just because guys are in a pro shop and you put them on staff doesn't mean that they're still going to do what they're supposed to do.
Right. Yeah. Oh, I had another. Oh, we've talked a lot about the company, but what I think sets Swag apart, from my experience, because I've been a motive enthusiast, I've been a hammer enthusiast, I'm currently a swag enthusiast. The biggest difference in the all of it is Swag's community.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Swag's community has been so unbelievably welcoming. It is unreal. I've never experienced anything else like it.
Well, and I always tell when I talk to our staff guys, I've always told people, we're family, regardless of whether I'm having to harp on people about things that they should be doing that they're not doing, or whether I'm just communicating information. It's a family. I've got people that I'm still good friends with that used to be on staff that aren't anymore, but we're still very good friends. So there's still that family tie. And we think of the people that are loyal to us, like with our fans page on Facebook, that's family as well. And that's part of the reason why I do the league lives that I do, is that interaction, being able to interact with people on a weekly basis and have them asking questions and seeing different styles and different equipment. And, eventually they're going to see something that lines up with them and go, oh, what is that Casey's throwing? What is that Connor's throwing?
Right.
Well, see, I can add to that too because I'm an outsider. I'm a Brunswick guy. And every swag person that I have dealt with has opened their arms and welcomed me in, and they don't bash me for what I throw. They don't try to pressure me to change like other companies would. Yep. I mean, on a daily, and I guarantee almost every swag person in here has probably heard the saying, F swag, right?
Yep.
But all them people who are talking crap about it, if you offered them a position, I guarantee they'd jump board in a heartbeat. But you don't want them people in your corner because they're not loyal, But your swag community has always been open-armed with me, and I respect that for everything,
Thank you. We that's the environment that we work hard to try and create. There's always going to be people hating on something or another. It's the nature of the beast with the sport that we're in. Right. The bottom line is, it doesn't matter, if Brunswick, Storm, Motive, us, we're all here for a purpose, and that's to build the sport and make it as good as we can. You're going to have people within the sport that are going to not be that way.
Mm-hmm.
All they want to do is talk trash about anybody that they can, and try and tear things down. But at the end of the day, we're just here to hope people have a good time, enjoy the sport, help it grow. And if there's anything that we can do, it used to be that with the old company, we had a couple different slogans, and one of them from the old Lord Field, the slogan that we always had was changing bowling one bowler at a time.
Mm-hmm.
Our goal was to be able to take a 140, 150, 160 average bowler, put a good quality ball in their hand that was still a controllable piece at a good price, and have their average go up 10, 20, 30 pins. And yeah, actually, my wife's an example of that. Actually, prior to me being involved with this company, we had bowled a few fun leagues together. I'd gotten her some equipment, helped her, coach her, and she was about a 130, 140 average bowler. She had taken time off away from bowling and then decided she was going to start bowling again. At that point, I was associated with Swag, got some swag equipment in her hands, and she ended up in that 160, 170 average. And she was saying, oh, well, because when she came back, I put her on my scratch league team. And well, she didn't want to bowl the women's league. I won't take an explanation, but she didn't want to bowl the women's league. So I said, fine, you can bowl on my scratch team. But because it was a 4-man league, we had a team cap. And so with the cap that was there, you had to have some of those lower average bowlers, but it was a 150 minimum. So she had to be voted in by the league to be accepted at that 150, even though her prior book was lower. And at first she said, well, I only averaged, 160 because I went in with a 150. And I said, no, that was all you. That's you establishing, you doing it. And
right.
I mean, she's maintained that 160 to 170 something average ever since. Us moving over the last couple of years and them changing shots hasn't helped her out a lot. But she'll get right back to where she can start seeing that average start coming back up again.
What is she throwing?
And that's the other thing I love about the Swag family is it's welcoming from elite 220 plus bowler all the way to I'm drilling my first bowling ball.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no delineation. Like there's nobody like, oh well, they're part of the Swag family, but they only shoot a $140. They don't really matter. No, that $140 matters just as much as the guy that's averaging 240.
Exactly.
I mean, at the end of the day, everyone's got different throwing styles, different techniques, and everyone is progressing in some manner. You're not going to necessarily, yes, you're going to get the people that are like, oh, I want that ball. So and so is throwing it so well, right? But not everyone's going to relate to that, and other people are going to see other people that are throwing very similar to their styles, and that is a selling point at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And that's another reason for doing the lives is just you see so many different throwing styles. And, it's not just our team on the league that's throwing Swag stuff. There's other people on the league as well. So at any given time, you could see, 4 to 6, 7 people throwing a Swag ball during a live.
Well, and that's how I knew.
Like my TikTok live is actually going to be the winner for where the weekly lives are going to be.
Victorious.
You guys have brought me to the dark side.
Hey, do you want to tell that story? Because I've heard snippets of this story of somebody saying they would never be on TikTok and TikTok wasn't going to be a viable option for promotion and things of that nature.
I never said that. I never said that. But it took some heavy persuading from both Matt and Patrick to get me to finally set up an account. So this is where the lives are going to be. I am downloading them and reposting them to my YouTube just for those that did want to see it on YouTube that don't have TikTok. They can still go back and watch it. So it'll be both ways.
Awesome.
And I know you guys did post it, that the contest that Matt and I have kind of put together.
Yep.
And good for my YouTube and for my TikTok. Both ways.
Good to know.
Yeah, absolutely. For those that didn't catch our promos or our posts about this, Kent is coming out of his own I would say pocket, but coming out of your own accord to give away a bowling ball once you reach 1,000 followers here on TikTok
and over on YouTube. And it's simple
YouTube.
to enter. It's simple to enter. It really is. Follow me, like, share videos, and in the comments of any of my videos, type Swag Nation.
Yes, sir.
Once I hit 1,000, I'm giving away a ball on both platforms.
That's awesome.
And
that's
it's a ball of their choice, correct?
Correct. Well, it's a ball of their choice from the Swag rebrand.
Swag line.
Yes. Well, the rebrand. Yes.
The rebrand. I don't have access to the old stuff. I have a little bit of the old stuff in my stock still, but most of what I have left from the old stuff is all 16 pound.
Yeah. So all the new stuff. I mean, that's even better.
So
And
I'll
Matt's
obviously,
he's going to do it also. So it'll be both of us doing it. So it looks like there's possibly the potential for 2 winners off each platform.
nice.
Awesome.
So I'll promote you guys, but I'll follow you. I don't want to enter your drawing because I want other people to win it because I'm a big person and trying to get everybody into bowling. But you got to follow me back. All right. All right.
Stay up here.
But
I'm
Now-
still trying to get, familiar with TikTok, but I've been trying and keep up with the notifications. So as people follow, I'll go back in and follow them back, especially if they've got bowling related content that they have up there. Occasionally I've got some people that they have no content, so
Yep.
I may not have followed them back. But if there's bowling related content in there, then I'm trying to make sure to go through and follow everybody back.
Kent, you are a quick learner on this platform, my friend, because we all do the exact same thing.
I used to be an IT guy.
I would say at least 80% of everyone that follows me and I follow back is bowling content creators. Because at the end of the day, you don't want to produce something that no one wants to watch. You want people that are going to be involved in what you're actually putting out.
Yeah. And I will tell people too, pay attention to my lives because I've been showing some new jerseys
Nice.
that are brand new designs of mine that are available through Brooklyn Ball Review. The first one that I debuted that was one of my new ones. And I've got a couple that are, patriotic. One's Arlington, one showing all the branches. I have an autism awareness one.
Very cool.
And I also have the 3 new designs I have. One of them was a lymphoma awareness, green camo with the green ribbon. There it is.
Yep.
As he breaks.
That's me. I'm happy to say in remission. So now I'm back being able to do content. That's why I wasn't doing my lives last year. But so I've got that new jersey. Last Tuesday night, I debuted my new alien jersey because I've just embraced the fact that I've become the alien. There's a long story behind that, but I finally embraced it just fully. And starting in October, I'll debut my new breast cancer awareness jersey.
Very cool.
That's awesome.
Anybody that likes any of those jerseys can hit me up, but I can hook them up through Brooklyn Ball Review. They've got
I was going to
program
say,
on the sleeve.
my son's on the spectrum, so I'm all about anything autism awareness related.
I'll have to get you the images of my autism jersey.
Yeah, the last jersey company that I was with, I won't name them, but it ends with something that sounds like Wi-Fi.
No one knew what that meant.
But they did me a custom autism awareness jersey. That was one of the best things that they did for me while I was on staff with them, and it didn't end up very well because there were some mix-ups and they didn't get taken care of, and I was not heartbroken when I got my email that said I'm not renewed for another year. But I love the theme branded, autism awareness, breast cancer awareness, patriotic. I love those jerseys, and the more and you can actually get a lot more creative with them than you may think.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
when
I've
you
done
originally start looking at it.
Different people that have been turned out really, really cool.
Yeah, my son's autism awareness jersey that I have, that is one of those jerseys from that company that I will still wear.
Nice.
Now, as far as other stuff, I noticed that you know, in your lives, you're wearing Hallmarks. How long have you been sporting Hallmark shoes?
Quite a while now. A lot of times, so my videos, a lot of times I do Hallmark shoes. A lot of times during my leagues, I'm not wearing my Hallmarks, and that's just to kind of keep my footing where I want it for gearing up for regionals and things like that, different tournaments. But when I do my videos, I wear the Hallmarks. I've been helping support them for, let's see, probably 5-6 years now.
Oh, okay.
You know, I appreciate what they're doing over there. It's a veteran-owned company, so I really appreciate what they do. The shoes are super comfortable. They've helped me out, you know, with different things. So, you know, they support our swag tournament that we do every year in June. They usually send over a couple certificates for a couple free pairs of shoes that we raffle off. So, yeah, about 5-6 years now.
That's awesome.
Yeah, they're a great company. Super comfortable shoes.
Now, my only thing with my bowling shoes, I gotta have the wire lace spin dial systems. I gotta have it. That's the only reason I haven't tried Hallmarks yet. Like I just bought a pair of Epic D2s because they came out with the dual system.
Sick.
Oh, I love them to death, but I'm not gonna lie, I've got a Dexter S8 on the slide sole because I didn't like the soles that they came with.
But that's the nice thing about those is that they will accept other soles.
Yeah.
Some of the other shoes that are out there, you do have to get their specific soles and heels. I'm trying to remember the KRs that I have because my KRs are actually the first pair that I had the boas. Really like them, but I'm trying to remember. I haven't changed the soles on those a lot, so I don't remember if those are real specific. But I know, like in October, I have one of the older pairs of the Pink Hammer breast cancer shoes.
Yeah,
that I wear in October, and those were very specific, where you had to have those heels and those soles because they had locking tabs on the bottom of them.
Oh, geez.
A pair of my Dexters are like that.
Yeah. So I
was
as much.
I was a Dexter guy forever, so I finally said, you know what, I'm branching out, and as soon as Epic came out with those shoes, I'm like, those are the ones.
Yeah, I try and support everybody that helps support me. I've got friends that work over at KR, and some of them have picked up some of our equipment to try. So in retrospect, help them out as well. I've been on staff with Turbo for several years now. They've always treated me really well. So
I always tell people, especially newer bowlers, it's not necessarily what you buy. It might be a price point that you want to hit, because bowling's not necessarily cheap.
No.
Sometimes you don't need to go for the best of the best when it comes to shoes, or if you want to just get into bowling, get something that can get you through like a season or two, and then make sure that you really like it, and then branch off from there. Yeah,
well, it's just like my old pro shop back home. I sold a ton of like the Dexter Rickies because those were a great level shoe that you could get 2-3 years out of if you weren't abusing them.
Yeah,
and for a lower price point, I always did a ball bag shoe package as well, and that was the shoes that were involved with them. It was the Rickies and the Raquels.
I was going to say, for the longest time, because I've been anti-tie shoes forever. My last pair of Dexters before the boas came out were actually the full-blown slip-ons. So even before boas came out, I was still not tying shoes.
He was
Hey,
cool.
comfort goes a long ways.
Absolutely. If you're not comfortable, for example, I don't know how people bowl in jeans. I'm going to say it right now.
I can't do it.
I can't do it.
I used to when I was young. I can't do it anymore.
I do.
Bro. Comfortable.
Now,
I'm not even big in bowling in shorts.
Now, I also have blown out several pair of jeans, and actually blown out a pair of jeans on a live before.
Nice.
That was from farting, though.
No, I didn't even realize it. And the funniest thing was, it was the timing of it. I realized that I had blown a hole in the back of the jeans. My phone was at 5%. And I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, guys, my phone's about to die. And the last thing that I said before the live cut out was I had just blown out a pair of my pants.
I think I was on that live. Come to think of it.
Luckily, I was wearing a pair of black boxers, so it was really hard to see the blowout.
Well, I promise you I wasn't looking at that.
Cobra's got enough problems with that guy.
You're
Oh,
right.
Yeah, Cobra's got a problem with people flashing on his lives.
Haven't been live since.
Not in an alley.
Oh,
So what are you you got any plans? Like, are you planning on going to arena this year?
no, not planning on going to Reno. I mean, right now, me personally, I've got one of the local bowlers here asked me about going over and bowling a doubles tournament over in Amarillo with him,
Yep.
which it looks like we're on the wait list right now. There's a good chance we'll get in. And then I had another buddy of mine asking to bowl PBA 50 regional with him. He's also one of our staffers, but a good friend of mine. PBA 50 regional with him over in Paris. Well, Paris, Texas. Let's put it that way. But it's the first year that they're hosting a regional over there, and it's a PBA 50 doubles. So
That's awesome.
the PBA 50s just started up for our region, and I hit quite a few of them last year. And try to hit a few this year. I'm just really getting back comfortable throwing the ball kind of like me again. So been a little bit of a long last year.
Yeah. When you came back, what was your biggest struggle when you came back?
Timing,
Timing.
getting ball speed back, just overall control. Because I was before it was I had with losing strength and losing weight and everything, it was a struggle for me to keep the ball speed up, and I had to slow everything down so much and just really just try and roll the ball. And now with changing oil, there's more oil. I've got strength back. I can feel like myself again. Get some hand back in the ball.
Right.
It was just it's really been consistency and getting that timing synced back up.
Now, during your time away, there are two different types of people, usually, when they have to take time away. There are the type of people that want to stay around the game and do everything else in the game that they possibly can. And there are people that want absolutely nothing to do with the game while they're away because they know if they get around the game, they're going to try to do something that's not going to be beneficial to their health.
Mm-hmm.
Now, with your position, it's a little hard for you to just go completely away and do nothing with the game. Right. But if you were not in said position, which way would you normally go? Are you one of those guys that wants to stay involved, or do you just go away until you're ready to come back?
My wife's in the background laughing because she knows the answer to this. So I, even through everything I was going through and with chemo treatments and everything else, I was still on the lanes. There was weeks when I couldn't bowl and it was killing me. I would still go to the bowl and support the team, but it was killing me to not be on the lanes.
Yeah.
But then again, at the same time, when I was bowling, I was frustrated was not the word. I was beyond frustrated.
Aggravated?
Very much so, because I knew what I was capable of, but my body wasn't letting me do that. And so it was very, very frustrating.
Yeah, mentally you're there, but physically you're not able to,
Yeah.
to make it happen. Yeah.
So, I mean, me stepping away, the extent of me stepping away was I didn't do any lives.
Fair.
Gotcha. Well, I did something.
Didn't really tell hardly anybody what was going on. I kind of kept that on the down low. And so, it was just what really wasn't sure how things were going to go. So,
Well, and that was the thing. Like me and you became acquainted with each other like literally 2 weeks before you had announced you were in remission. So I was like, I read it and I'm like, oh wow, okay. But I'm very similar. Like there was a summer league where I was bowling in sport shot, but I was also playing slow pitch softball. I dove for a ball in the outfield and separated my left shoulder, and I bowl left-handed. So I'm like, okay, well, I don't want to quit bowling, and I know I've got to give this at least a month to heal. So I wound up having to establish an average right-handed during a sport shot league and averaged 107 right-handed.
that's something I would do. There was actually a time before we had moved out here, I had retweaked an old knee injury, and my knee was pretty bad shape. And it was every week that we would go into bowl league, I was working the shop at the time, and I would get done working in the shop. I'd go down to the lanes to bowl a couple games to see how the knee felt. And if it showed that I wasn't going to be able to be stable on it, I was going to be bowling left-handed.
So how is your lefty game?
I haven't done it in a while. I can shoot lefty. As long as I don't leave anything on the left-hand side, I'm pretty much okay. That's the one time when I would probably really, really need a spare ball.
Yeah, absolutely. I was the same way. I'm like, I can roll it. Like if I wasn't on a sport shot, I could probably average 160, 170 right-handed. But there was no chance. A bird dog had a better chance in hell than me picking a 10-pin.
See, my downside is left-handed. I have probably close to about the same amount of revs I do right-handed, just not as much ball speed.
Yeah.
So I'm swinging even more lane left-handed than I am right-handed.
Yep. I was the same way. All right. Well, we are coming up on the hour. We try to keep this thing as hard timed to an hour as humanly possible. But it was an absolute pleasure to get to know you a little better.
Likewise, I appreciate you guys for having me.
Absolutely.
And again, we're trying to do everything we can to support you to get you to that 1,000 so we can at least give one ball away here on TikTok, and then we'll do the same thing over on YouTube.
Appreciate it.
And thank you for giving us a little bit of insight on the back end of some things with the brand as well.
Oh, anytime I can help, I absolutely will. Hopefully maybe we can even do this again sometime.
Absolutely.
And I would anticipate that I would see applications from both of you guys too.
Oh, mine's already in, sir.
Mine's been in.
Okay. Just making sure. I've got so many filed away right now that I haven't even been able to get through all of them yet.
Yeah.
I was recommended to go ahead and get it done by a certain subset of people that we all know and love.
That has helped support us in everything that we're doing, because honestly, that's why we're doing this, because we want to help the bowling community. We want to get rid of the stigma of not supporting each other. we can all rib on each other while we're bowling because it's a sport. However, we still want to promote each other and improve everyone's game across the board.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Not trying to avoid the ones that just want to, try and ruin everybody's night.
Right.
Yeah. Well, and that's the other thing is I know that we're taking that I'm making an influence with people with throwing swag, because when I switched to being a swag enthusiast and went to a swag only league ball, everybody's like, "Oh God, why are you throwing swag?" And now they see my average at the top of the average in the league, and they go, "You still throwing swag?" I'm like, "Yeah." They're like, "All right, well, I'm gonna have to come and watch, see how you roll this thing."
That's awesome.
Thing, dude. Same thing.
And then, hopefully after the first part of the year too, when after I get all the staff stuff done, and that's when I'll start gearing up towards our tournament that we host in June. Maybe you guys can make it out this year for the swag tournament.
I would be ecstatic.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, Pope Joy winning it this past year, the handicap division
That was awesome.
that was such an unbelievably cool story. Like,
You don't have to be a swag guy to come bowl it.
but what he had been through, man. I mean, and you could tell Kelly was there with him, and it was
for
just
sure.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
I was so happy to be on that live watching the entire thing. It was awesome, dude. 100%.
Yeah, it was. And being there in person for him was even better.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, that was awesome.
All right, guys. Well, we are getting ready to wrap up here. Again, Kent, I know you're a busy man. We appreciate you giving us the time.
Anytime, fellas.
Thank you much.
Any other final words, Bri?
Again, make sure you follow this man. Free ball giveaway. Check it out. You can see it in our promos. And I'm sure there's going to be another promo coming up to give him a little hand. So make sure you follow him. Let's get to that 1K, and you get a free bowling ball.
It's that easy.
Cobes, you got anything?
Thank you for everything, guys. Thank you for everything, guys. You've always been good. Let's keep doing it.
Absolutely.
Appreciate you.
I will carry over my line from BHB. There's never going to be a last time, so until the next time, we'll catch y'all later.
Kick rock, roll the rock.
That's right.
Thank you, guys.
See you.